Hello, this is the mock IEP meeting for Dr. Posey's SPED 805 Assessments in Special Education class by myself, Amy Gough. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here today to support Tacoma and work together as a team on his educational goals. My name is Amy Gough, and I am Tacoma's special education teacher, and I'll be leading our meeting today. We are also here with Mr. Shields, the school principal, his general education teacher, reading intervention teacher, Miss Daisy, and our school psychologist, Miss Sky. Tacoma's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Gough, as well. We're here to review Tacoma's current performance, discuss the results of recent passage reading fluency intervention, and determine the best next steps to support his continued growth. To give some background, Tacoma is entering seventh grade and has been diagnosed with dyslexia since second grade. While reading has always been an area of challenge for him, he shows strong work habits, responds well to one-on-one instruction, and has made great gains through targeted fluency interventions. He's respectful, hardworking, and a quiet but willing participant in class. Today, we'll go over the data we've gathered from recent assessments, including a San Diego Quick and a Passage Reading Fluency CBM conducted over 6 days. We'll look at how he performed, discuss his strengths and areas of continued growth, and elaborate on goals, accommodations, and instructional strategies for the IEP moving forward. I want to emphasize that Tacoma has made clear progress, especially in his reading rate and confidence. Our goal today is to ensure that he continues building on that success in a positive and structured way. Let's get started. During the assessments, I used the San Diego Quick. This is an assessment. This assessment is an informal reading inventory designed to quickly give a student's independent, instructional, and frustrational reading levels. It consists of graded word lists that help determine the highest level of words a student can read accurately and fluently without assistance. The purpose of this assessment is to determine Tacoma's independent reading level prior to beginning a fluency intervention. How it's used: Tacoma read aloud from a word list at various grade levels until errors suggested a shift from independent to instructional or frustrational level. This helped ensure that the CBM passage selected were appropriate for his current reading ability. The outcome is that the results indicated that a third grade level passage would be appropriate for monitoring Tacoma's oral reading fluency without causing frustration. And then the next assessment used was the passage reading fluency, which is a CBM curriculum-based measure. The CBM for passage reading fluency is a brief timed 1-minute oral reading assessment used to measure how many words a student reads correctly per minute. It evaluates fluency through 3 components: rate, accuracy, and expression. The purpose is to monitor Tacoma's progress in oral reading fluency and determine the effectiveness of the repeated reading intervention over a 6-day period. How it's used: Tacoma read aloud from a third grade passage each day. Errors were tracked, for example, misread words or skipped words, and the total number of words read correctly in 1 minute was recorded. Expressions and engagement were also observed. The outcome: Tacoma began with a baseline average of 117 words per minute based on 3 initial assessments. Over the 6 intervention sessions, his fluency increased to 128 words per minute, exceeding the goal set in his aim line and demonstrating clear growth in reading speed and accuracy. These 2 assessments work together to establish an appropriate starting point and track measurable progress in Tacoma's reading ability, helping inform instructional decisions and IEP development. His present level performance: as I said before, Tacoma is a 12-year-old student entering 7th grade who is diagnosed with dyslexia in 2nd grade. While he has made strong gains in math and has successfully transitioned into a general education math setting, reading continues to be an academic area of concern. Specifically, Tacoma struggles with reading fluency, which impacts his comprehension and ability to engage confidently with grade level texts. The San Diego Quick Assessment was administered to determine his independent reading level. Results indicated that Tacoma read most comfortably and accurately at a third grade level. This level was used as the basis for further fluency monitoring to ensure he could read without causing frustration. Baseline data collected from the 3 passage reading fluency assessments, which is the CBM, showed that Tacoma was reading at an average of 117 words per minute, placing him at the 50th percentile for third grade norms. Although this is below the grade level for seventh graders, he provided a measurable and appropriate starting point for interventions. Tacoma's strengths include his work ethic, consistent effort, and positive attitude towards learning. He responds well to one-on-one instruction, applies feedback, and demonstrates high motivation even when tasks are challenging. Progress over time. Over a 6-day period, Tacoma participated in a repeated reading intervention using 1-minute CBM fluency probes. During this time, he practiced the same passage multiple times with feedback focused on decoding errors, pacing, and expression. His initial scores 117, 115, and 119 words per minute. Progress during the intervention, he went from 120 to 123 to 126 words per minute. And then he ended with a final score of 128 words per minute, which is above the initial 125 words per minute goal that we had set. The growth illustrates meaningful progress in both accuracy and speed. Tacoma also demonstrated greater confidence and improved reading with expression. Through expressive reading remains an area of continued development. In summary, Tacoma is making steady gains in reading fluency when provided with structured targeted interventions. His data shows clear responsiveness to instruction, suggesting that continued support such as repeated reading, feedback, and modeled fluent reading, he can continue to make progress towards grade level expectations. His motivation and engagement remain key strengths that will support future academic success. In this, you'll see the CBM bar graph. This was the words per minute correct. It says week 1 through week 6, but it's day 1 through day 6. We did this in 6-day intervals. In the next one, you'll see the same thing, just in a line graph, and I feel that this is a lot better. You can see how his words per minute went up. It looks a lot stronger than the bar graph. The San Diego Quick, this is where it shows that his 3rd grade level, he only missed 1 word. He had 1 error. 4th grade, he only had 2 errors. And then 5th grade, he had 3 errors. So that shows us that his 3rd grade was his independent reading level. 4th grade is his instructional level, and 5th grade is his frustrational level. This is also the San Diego Quick assessment that was given to him, just so you can see exactly what that looks like. And then moving on to his strengths. Strong work ethic and motivation. He consistently demonstrates a strong work ethic throughout the intervention. He arrived prepared, remained focused, and worked diligently during each session, even though tasks were challenging. He was able to put forth his best effort without giving up. Responsiveness to feedback. He showed the ability to take in and apply feedback effectively. During repeated reading sessions, he listened carefully to corrections and used that guidance to improve his accuracy, pace, and expression. The responsiveness contributed significantly in his growth over the 6 days. Positive attitude and willingness to learn. He maintained a positive and respectful attitude towards the intervention process. While he tends to be quiet in group settings, he actively engaged when prompted and showed a willingness to try strategies that were new and difficult. His respectful behavior and quiet leadership makes him a strong contributor in classroom environments. Weaknesses, expressive reading. While Tacoma made gains in fluency rate and accuracy, his tone, inflection, and phrasing remains an area for growth. His reading often lacks natural rhythm and expression, which can affect overall comprehension and engagement of the text. Processing speed. Tacoma demonstrates slower processing speed, which can impact his ability to respond quickly when decoding unfamiliar words or reading under timed conditions. This can create challenges during assessments and fluency-based tasks that require both speed and accuracy. Reading confidence in unfamiliar contexts. Although Tacoma responds well to repeated reading and showed confidence with familiar passages, he initially showed hesitation and anxiety with new texts. This suggested that he may benefit from more practice with unfamiliar reading materials and scaffolded support to build confidence. 2 short-term SMART goals. The first one I set in was to improve reading fluency rate. And then the goal by the end of the next 6 instructional weeks, Tacoma will increase his reading passage fluency from 117 words per minute to 130 words per minute on a 3rd grade level passage measured by weekly CBM fluency probes. And then the second SMART goal I put in was to improve expression and phrasing. Within the next 6 instructional weeks, Tacoma will improve his expression score from developing to proficient on a teacher-created oral reading fluency rubric, evaluating tone, inflection, and phrasing in 4 of 5 reading sessions. And then for the 2 long-term SMART goals, I put in for the first one, grade level reading fluency. By the end of the academic semester, 18 weeks, Tacoma will improve his oral reading fluency to 140 words per minute on a 4th grade level passage with 95% accuracy as measured by CBM weekly probes. And then that SMART goal 2, comprehension through expression. By the end of the academic semester, Tacoma will demonstrate and improve his reading comprehension by scoring 80% or higher on 4 out of 5 comprehension questions related to the grade level passage read aloud, evaluated bi-weekly. And then parent support and family support. Providing regular reading opportunities at home could be great. We encourage the family to set aside 10 to 15 minutes each evening for Tacoma to practice oral reading with a family member. Reading aloud familiar or leveled text will reinforce the repeated reading strategy used in school. Parents can offer gentle feedback on pacing and expression, helping him build confidence. 2, the use of audio or modeled reading tool. Listening to audiobooks or reading along with fluent adult readers can support Tacoma with comprehension. Parents can help by selecting engaging books and encouraging him to mimic the tone, pitch, and rhythm of the reader. 3, celebrate his progress. This is huge. Tacoma responds well to encouragement and has a strong work ethic. We ask that parents continue to celebrate his growth, no matter how small. This could be a verbal great job, a sticker chart, a short reward when goals are met. Motivation at home will reinforce his effort and persistence. Maintain communication with the school. Ongoing collaboration between home and school are key. Parents can help by staying in touch with teachers, reviewing progress, monitoring updates, and reaching out with any concerns. Their insight helps us tailor support in meaningful ways. And then to wrap up this meeting, as we conclude today's meeting, does anyone have any questions that they'd like to go over or need answered more thoroughly? If not, we want to thank everyone, especially Tacoma's parents, for their ongoing support, collaboration, and commitment to his success. Based on the assessments and progress monitoring, Tacoma has made notable gains in reading fluency and is showing a positive response to intervention strategies like repeated reading and guided feedback. We've identified key strengths that will support him in achieving both his short-term and long-term goals. We've also outlined specific areas that need continued attention. The SMART goals we've discussed today are designed to be clear, achievable, and align with the progress he's already made. With continued support from both home and school, we're confident that Tacoma will continue to grow in his reading abilities and overall academic performance. Please remember that we're here as a team. If any questions or concerns arise, we encourage open communication at any time. Thank you for your time and decisions in Tacoma's learning and growth.